What's up, my comic book brothers and my comic book sisters from another mister. Today we're going to do a comic book review of Spawn, issue number 335, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. Previously, Spawn has been captured by Jim Downing's new team. SINN has engaged Clown's forces on Omega Island and a surprising return of a former friend. Now, who that former friend is, we shall find out later. We begin this issue with the continuation of what happened in the previous issue. SINN has came back to life and Spawn is in disbelief. And Spawn is thinking, Nix, are you behind all this? Not by choice, but you haven't really given us any other options out, because if you keep heading down this path, you're going to destroy everything. And this is referencing to back in issue Spawn, issue number 300, which we did do a review on. Why did you come back, says Spawn. Because I was murdered, Al. You know better, Al. You take precautions in our line of work, and look at that smirk on our face. It was Calistiosa, by the way. He's the one who murdered me, in case you were wondering. Or didn't you care? Did you spend even a second trying to locate my murderer? There wasn't time, says Spawn. You're a soldier, and you fell. That's war. Of course, the war. It's always about the war with you, Spawn. But nothing you've done has actually helped to end it, has it? In fact, actually, everything you seem to do is designed to further stoke it. You don't really want to end it, do you? Because if you did, then you would do it. And Spawn's like, who told you that, Downing? He likes to poison minds. I wouldn't give him too much credence. So you want to be angry with me? Fine, I deserve it. But do it for your own reasons, not his. But also ask yourself, every enemy has been trying to force me to open up the dead zones. How many demons or angels tried bending me to their will? Then ask yourself how they succeeded. Spawn has a really good clapback and a really good point right there. The power to control the dead zones is hidden somewhere you'll never find. If SINN can't beat the location out of me, neither will you. And Nix is like, we don't need to beat it out of you, Al. We're going to reach into your mind and take it. I wish I hadn't come to this. I remember how happy I was when I heard you come back to life, but now seeing you like this, disappointed. The Al I once knew tried to help people. He wasn't hell-bent on bringing the whole world crashing down in a forever war. You're just a husk now. You're wrong about that, says Al. Oh, we'll see. And Nix's magic freezes Al for a moment. As they enter Al's mind, they are like, Jim Downing is like, is it work? Did it work? Don't worry, we're in, says Nix. And Jim Downing's like, that's it? This is his mind? Don't be fooled, Jim. This is probably by design. He wants to make it as difficult as possible. So let's get moving. This is just the surface level we're in. We're going to have to dig a lot deeper to get the information we need. Elsewhere, war rages across Omega Island. Deep in the caverns, far below, there's a fissure, a crack in the fabric of reality, one that can help SINN finally return to hell to claim a throne he's long desired. It's that prize that has brought SINN and his army to invade the shores of Omega Island. But the island's present ruler has no desire to surrender any shred of control to his enemy. Show yourself, Clown, says SINN. If I'm so unworthy to you, then stop hiding. Many words can describe Clown. Speechless is not one of them. Yet, since their fight began, SINN's opponent hasn't uttered a single word. This is not like him, but it's too late. SINN realizes he's been deceived. Nothing of his old foe still resides inside this mindless beast, and he gets decked in the face. So Clown is watching on the monitor elsewhere, and he's asking what's the latest update, and he gets a report. It's not looking good. SINN's army is closing in on them. We've got a battalion of 6 circled demons deploying from the east, a group of necroziles from the west, and Baron Despair's forces coming from the north. The most pressing concern is Blood, his vampires, and Blood is the ruler of all those vampires. They've been advancing rapidly from the south. It won't be long before they're closing in on our doorstep. The good news is reinforcements have started to arrive, and there's been some encouraging signs. Dakota looking good as hell. I mean, come on, look at that cake. Okay, well, you know what I mean. With Dakota and her reinforcements being there, it's showing some encouraging signs. The teams are marshaling a strong defense by the cliffs. And as for your companions, those minis, those guys that Big Gunslinger spawned in issue number 5 or 6, like, anyways, your companions have also been effective to slowing down the vampires' progress. But ultimately, it doesn't change the fact that SINN's got us pinned in. We're sustaining heavy casualties. I don't think we could beat them. And Clown is like, we don't need to beat them. We just need to slow them down long enough. And he makes a phone call. So have you found him yet? And Jericho's like, yeah, I found him. I've been digging a lot of digging and I tracked him down. When are you going to make contact? Soon. I just want to make sure you definitely needed this guy. Yes, Jericho, I do. I need him now, says Clown. And for Jericho to have this kind of fear, this brother has to be out of this world, imposing. I'm curious to know who this guy is. And Clown is like, tell him what I told you exactly. I've got it. You better. And Jericho's like, And Jericho curses himself out because he feels he should have doubled his retainer. He nears his target, and you can tell by the look on his face, he's just like, oh my gosh, I gotta tread carefully because my life depends on it. I'm Jericho, I'm hoping you might have time to chat. And this guy closes his fist like, I ain't got no time for this. Look, we're all friends here. I'm here on behalf of a mutual friend. We've been keeping an eye on the activities you've been doing. He's got some information he thinks you might be interested in. He just wants me to pass this on to you and then leave it up to you and you deal with it. So please, do you have a second to talk? And you could tell, like, Jericho does not want to be doing this, but whoever this guy is, and all we see is the fist, I hope we get a reveal at the end. So Mark calls Jessica and he tells Jessica, I think I may have made a big mistake. Never mind, it doesn't matter right now. I'm going to try and send you my location. I need you and the rest of the Scorch to get here ASAP. And Overkill's like, Mark, what are you doing? And is Mark compromised in this issue? So Jim Downing and Nix are inside the mind of Spawn. And Jim Downing is just walking around like, any luck yet? And Nix is like, nothing yet. I don't think we're going to find anything here, but we're getting closer. There has to be an entry point next level somewhere around here. Well, how are you holding up, by the way? I know you and Al were friends, but this can't be easy. Just worry about yourself, Nix. And based on her facial reaction right there, I think she's going through some disappointments, just to say the very least. Now, she's found something, a weak spot in the ground that she feels that she can create an entrance point to. And Jim Down is like, yo, man, can I help? And she tells him, no, I just need some space to construct my spell. So she does that, and Spawn's defenses go in, and Jim Downing has to enact a force field. Damn, I hope we get deeper before security kicked in, says Nix. I can't keep this thing at bay, says Jim Downing. I'm working as fast as I can, says Nix. This gets more intense. And Jim Downing is losing his position, losing his strength, and losing the force field that he's holding up. Follow me, says Nix. So they go into a portal, she creates a portal, and they get out of there. Al's defenses have improved since the last time I was alive. Well, we can still enact our plan, right? Says Jim Downing. We can. We just need to be more careful. I doubt that that's the only surprise Al has got for us. It turns out that isn't the only surprise. Something else is lurking, and that's gonna go down too. Clown wants to report in, and he calls in Jericho. And Jericho tells him, I think my conversation with him took a few years off my life, but it's done. Alright, I conveyed everything you wanted word for word. And, says Clown, don't worry, Clown, he's on the way, and he should be arriving any second now. And SINN is going to work and laying that smoke on Violator. And he knows, and Violator's like, yo, man, I don't want this smoke no more. And after this fight concludes and SINN comes out victorious, I know you're watching, Clown. I hope you're taking notes, or are you just going to continue to hide behind your pets? Why won't you face me? I'm just a human. Crackoom. And SINN is wondering, what the hell is that coming out from the skies? And as this thing braces for superhero landing impact, I mean, come on, a reference to Deadpool, right? Then the voice of what just crashed landed speaks. It is you, Kane. I had my doubts, but I should have known you'd find a way of surviving all this time. And it's put fear in SINN's eyes, because back in Spawn issue number 331, where we did do the full story of not the full story, but it breaks down the history of SINN and Cogs, all that story, that was the brother he murdered, and SINN was the first murderer. He was Kane and his brother was Abel, and that's Abel wanting to enact revenge. Hello, brother, prepare to die. And that's where we end this issue of Spawn issue number 335. Dude, this issue of Spawn, to me, it just keeps getting better and better. I'm loving that we're getting more details on SINN, and Spawn is taking a little bit of a backseat, but at the same time, don't worry, we want Spawn to get the front row seat and do the action, lay all the ass whoopings out there. But this is really interesting and really compelling, and I'm definitely digging this Spawn series. Link in the description if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection. With all that being said, Spawn issue number 335, what you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, don't forget to check us out on RatedComics.com if you want to add some cool comic books to your comic book collection, Rated Comic exclusive covers, and other cool items as well. And don't forget, we do online auctions on Whatnot, where you can, link in description. We download the app, check us out, get some amazing deals and bargain deals as well. Last but not least, if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description, or donate to the Super Thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking the video and subscribing to this channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.